Hey, good evening. I'm Sean Green with tonight's sports. West Indies are bracing for the possibility of more bad news from the International Cricket Council, again from the second test against England, just 2 days after the Windies skipper Jason Holder was suspended from playing in the third and final test due to his side's slow over rate in Antigua. Now, there are concerns that the ICC match referee, Jeff Crow, will charge that the pitch used in that game was not up to standard. CBC's Mark Seal reports.
The match ended in 3 days, with England being bowled out twice cheaply. Cricket West Indies has pointed out that the Windies still managed to bat for 131 overs on the same pitch and scored more than 300 runs in their first innings. Commentators on both sides did note that some deliveries were unplayable. Case in point, while England's Joe Root was dismissed by a delivery that lifted sharply to take him on the glove, Windies batsman Roston Chase was bowled by a short ball that crept. The ICC has deemed that pitches which are labelled as unfit are to be given 5 demerit points. Poor pitches are given 3 points, and below average pitches are given 1 demerit point. Any ground which receives 5 demerit points over a 5-year period will be banned from hosting internationals for 12 months. And they actually can be banned for 24 months if they receive 10 points. Now, whilst there have been no bad reports in the last 5 years for Antigua, there was in 2009 another test against England at this Sir Vivian Richards ground, which was abandoned after 10 deliveries due to an unfit outfield. The belief by some analysts is that this time the ground may get a below average rating. Mark Seal, CBC Sports.
Well, despite that, the West Indies has sent the cricketing world into a frenzy following their performances against England in the first 2 tests of the current 3-match series. The 381-run and the 10-wicket victories in Barbados and Antigua, respectively, have re-energized their fan base and put pressure on the England players to avoid a whitewash. But what has made the difference with the West Indies team so far in 2019? Well, CBC's Damon Best has his view.
Rally round the West Indies has been blazing in my head for the last 2 weeks. Not because it evokes memories of the past success of West Indies cricket, but simply put, Jason Holder and his men have been shearing enough licks to the visiting English team. The series deciding 10-wicket victory in Antigua in the second test proved all the pundits wrong, especially some members of the overseas press who sought to rubbish the idea that England, a team ranked 5 places above the regional side at number 2 in the ICC rankings, could pose any threat. All the while Holder was preaching to his charges before the first match: be consistent in the series. That motto seemed to resonate among the starting 11, and lo and behold, on the 3rd day of the first test, England are cat-sparrow for just 77 in 30 overs in reply to the Windies' 289 all-out. That poor effort with the bat snowballed into a crushing 381-run defeat inside 4 days at Kensington Oval. The manner of victory sent shockwaves across the social networks, with praise for a resurgent Windies team and condemnation of an England squad who were outplayed in every aspect of the game. Then in the second test, an even more emphatic 10-wicket mauling at the Vivian Richards Cricket Stadium in Antigua inside 3 days. West Indies going on to regain the Wisden Trophy and take a 2-0 lead in the 3-match series. Credit must be first given to the curators and, of course, the Windies captain for setting the standard. At Kensington Oval, there was pace and bounce, and the batsmen who applied themselves got the runs. Holder and Shane Dowrich breaking the record books with the highest 7th-wicket unbeaten partnership in history, 295. In Antigua, on an even more lively pitch, West Indies won the battle of concentration. Darren Bravo led the scoring in the first innings with 50 off 216 deliveries. and the new opening pair, Craig Brathwaite and John Campbell, put together their third straight 50-run partnership of the series. To win a test match, you have to take 20 wickets, and pacer Kemar Roach has put his hands up as the most senior player. He is not the fastest of the now fearsome four, but his ability to swing the ball and bowl in the right areas has yielded 13 wickets at 12.07. England don't have an answer for him. The absence of Holder for the final test in St. Lucia due to his team's slow over rate is a really big blow. How do you replace your leader, who is also the #1 test all-rounder in the world? The selectors have Jamaican pacer O'Shane Thomas at their disposal, but are they willing to lose an extra batsman? The West Indies have ticked all the boxes so far and must now finish the English off in the most ruthless fashion. Why, you may ask? How else do you announce yourself back on the international scene?
Well, thank you very much, Damien. Well, the calculations have not yet been done for the Victor and Vic Fitch-Ludorm titles, but we do know that Greenhouse, also known as Morehouse, again reigned supreme at the Sharon Primary when they held their sports at the Usain Bolt complex today. Now, Moore amassed 869 points, way ahead of the second place Blue, that's Gomes House, on 797, Red or Sobers House, third, 750, and Yellow House or King House with 641. Now, reporting on some of the day's races is Anne-Marie Burke.
What sports day for some fun, and the boys from Blue House had the size and power to conquer the Greenhawks in this tug-of-war duel. We're at the Usain Bolt complex for the Sharon Primary Sports Day. 300-meter action on the 11 girls, and talk about the lead from start to finish. Katie Cadogan in her red headband and moving. She gave you little spurts of quick strides, but then she tired coming on to the end, but had enough to still win it. In second, Kiara Nichols with her teammate Destiny Blenman in third. The boys' 300 race was a lot more competitive, as off the final turn it was a battle of 3 athletes. But then Brendan Stanford looked across and decided, you won't be catching me. And although he was preoccupied with how his fellow competitors were doing, he had done enough to be the champion. And watch the lean for second, won by Yellow's Jamari Henry with Green's Kyle Blackman in third. Speed time now, hundreds on the 9 girls, and these little ones are yet to master running in lanes. A bit of bumper car action at the start, but not for Nakaya Haynes. She was focused and had one focus alone, crossing the line first, and boy did she achieve that. Second and third went to Trishawn Stevens and Abigail Clark. They called themselves the Greenhawks, and a pair of Khalil Bryan and Zorian Clark lived up to that name. They were on the outside and moving. Bryan first, Clark second, with Red's Karen Brooker in third. On the 11 girls, and they're off. Another tussle for lanes, but watch Katie Cadogan go. Remember, she was the 300 champion, but the 100 was hers too. She led them home comfortably. Second was Green's Kalia Reese with teammate Faith John in third. 7 to call for the boys' equivalent, and focus on the little one in the middle of the field, Rosario Connell. Talk about power in a small portion. Second went to Brendan Stanford, and third, Jamari Henry. Who would be the fastest girl at Sharon? Look for the green shirt. Fighting to the very end, Gabrielle Carter did it ahead of the blue team of Jazara Licorice and Shante Thorne. And here they come, the under 13 boys. The first boy to finish will claim fastest boy at school. Who would it be? Believe me, it was decided in the final 30 meters. Charging through Xavier Bain, and the lean for second was won by Thierry Kinch ahead of Zayden Hackett. So Sharon is off the list. Their sports is completed. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
Well, after a 5-year absence, the Barbados Inter-Alumni Association Athletics Championships will return to the National Stadium this year. Now, with the 5th edition set for July 13th, organizers are hoping for an even bigger and better outing. Now, the event was last held in 2014, but was abandoned since 2015 because of the unavailability of the National Stadium.
In 2015, therefore, when the stadium was closed, we couldn't afford to do it because it was a very costly exercise, and we really couldn't afford to rent the tents and rent the chairs and tables and so on. When we had the stand and people would come and sit in the stand, and there was a PA system here we could use and all that type of thing, we could go ahead and do it. So that's one of the reasons why we had stopped. But athletes have been asking, we have been constantly being asked about when are we going to resume, when we are going to come back. And so we decided to take the bull by the horn this year and do it again. Apart from the elite school, we have St. Leonard's, Alexandra, Queen's College, Garrison, Graydon, Sealy, Combermere, and Queen's College.
Well, Christchurch Foundation will be looking to defend their men's title, while the Allen Secondary will be looking to do likewise in their ladies' defense. Registration will run from March to April.